Hello. So today we're going to go over some rhythm, some strumming patterns and how they work. So it's kind of a basic principle on how they work, both in lead playing and in rhythm playing. And the whole basic thing about all this is the downs and the ups. Keeping that right hand or left hand if you're left-handed. Going up and down all the time, yeah, and it never stops. It's quite tricky to get the hang of to start with. So as usual, the teacher's going to say, play this super slow and do it super slow, and he's going to be right. So we'll give this a try, and a good way to do this, normally I would teach this with a song, whichever song it came up in the strumming pattern, then we'd have a go at the strumming pattern or try to simplify the strumming pattern if it was a bit more advanced. But just for today, just the fundamentals of strumming patterns. So we're counting in music and we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, or whatever the speed is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. The speed doesn't matter, yeah? The same thing applies. Now, if we're playing 1, 2, 3, 4, we want to play down with each number. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So a good way to get used to this is a metronome maybe, and I've got one here. I've just set it to 60 beats per minute, yeah, so 1 beat per second. I'm just going to play downstroke each time, yeah, in time with that, yeah. And if we can, count it out loud, 1, 2, 3, 4, or just say down, down, down. And saying it out loud really helps put that rhythm in your voice, so you get used to saying it, and eventually you won't need to, and your right hand will just kind of just do its thing, and you'll not have to think about rhythms anymore. It's just one less thing we have to think about. So okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to have a go with this with just downs on each one, yeah? 1, 2, 3, 4. You see, I'm not even playing a chord. I don't need to. I'm just in time with the metronome. 1, 2, 3, 4. Which is great, yeah? Now, if you notice my right hand, it's going down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. But I'm not playing on the up, yeah? Now we're going to start playing that up, and that's going to be in between the downs, yeah? So it's like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, yeah? So we'll give that a go and see if we can get that in. Again, we don't need to play any chords with these string patterns. I don't even really need a guitar. You can do this on the side of your leg or something, yeah? But down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, really smooth, yeah? To the point that we don't have to think about it anymore. And again, we're not going to worry about speed. If this is too fast, go slower than 60. It's not a problem, yeah? Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And if we're having trouble counting along with songs like that, again, it's something we don't need our guitars to practice. Every time you listen to music, I presume if you're playing guitar, you're listening to music quite a lot. Tap along with the beats. Find the beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Then find that and just get yourself in time with it. Tap along, tap your foot, nod your head. Whatever it is you do. If you ever watch professionals playing live, or even recordings of them playing, you'll note they're moving. They're not statues, yeah. They're body clock. They're in time with the music. Everything's going with it, yeah. So now that should be fairly easy to start with. Play it nice and slow, and we've split what would normally be what we call crotchets or quarter notes, depending where we are around the world. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're halving that now. We're splitting into quavers or eighth notes. So them quavers will be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And now the strumming patterns we're gonna probably want to do, because they're very basic. I'm just gonna run a couple. Just gonna do 2 more because I don't think there's any point in doing 50 strumming patterns, because you're probably not going to watch the video for 50 strumming patterns. So just going to do two basic ones. We're going to do a down, 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 up, down. And if you watch my right arm when I play this, it never stops going up and down the whole time, yeah? So between every down, it's got to come up to play the next down, yeah? So I'm going down, 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 up, down. And it never stops. Down, 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 up, down. We're going to repeat that round and round, because it's okay to get the phrase down, 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 up, down. And if we just stop there, we don't get the turnaround to come back to the first beat of the bar again. So we get that 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then if we stop there, we've lost the next one. So we need to be in time. And that's why metronome's great. If you go on YouTube and type in some drum tracks at 60 beats per minute or something like that, there's loads on there. Or just some basic drum tracks or metronome. Google has a metronome built into it. If you just type metronome onto Google, and you can set it to whatever tempo you want. You can get phone apps. You can get the old-fashioned pyramid thing that's side to side. I tend to use my phone, but I'm recording with my phone, so we've got this today. Let me have a go at this then. Down, 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 up, down. Again, 60 beats a minute. We can pick up that speed when you get comfortable, but the idea is just be dead comfortable, that you no longer have to think about your right arm just going down, up, down, up. And I guess some rhythms split even quicker than that, and they'll be split into 16th notes or semiquavers. But the same principles apply. So it's still going to be down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. You just might be doing it faster. So we can just sort of double the time of those notes, so it makes them worth the same as what we started out at anyway. It's just that the bar will be twice as long. So it's still the same principle regardless. And you'll see these arrows on the strumming patterns sometimes when we see strumming patterns. If we're going like ultimateguitar.com or whatever, we're picking up a song and it'll have an arrow facing down. That's a down stroke, and then it'll have another one facing down, and then it'll have a down arrow and an up arrow and a down arrow. That is telling you, but between each of those down arrows, your hand naturally has to do an up to come back down. So we'll give this a go, and I'm going to say this out loud in a couple of different ways just to see. Yeah, and you should try saying it out loud. Right. Down, 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 up, down. Down, 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 up, down. Yeah, or 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so you can have a go with that as a bit of a practice, and see how that goes. Right, the last strumming pattern, again, that was a very common strumming pattern. The next one's a very common strumming pattern that you come across all the time. And these kind of fit in other songs, even if that's not the strumming pattern as well. You start to build an arsenal of strumming patterns and you feel more comfortable. It allows you to be able to sing as well a little bit easier if your right arm is sort of taking over, because if we start trying to get that da 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 all with down picks, we start to get a little bit jerky and it sounds a bit slightly off time. It's not quite as smooth as we want it to be when we're trying to just put down strokes all the time. Yeah, but it is very difficult to use those up strokes. Another bit of a tip, something I don't know if I did this when I was learning. It's been a long time. I don't use these picks that often now, but using a very thin pick, like this is a 46.46, it's very thin. There's very little resistance in this when I'm playing the strings. Like I say, I wouldn't normally play with this, but as a beginner, just getting used to strumming patterns, just taking something away from that is just taking a bit of resistance away, just to make it a little bit easier, and then you can work up to a thicker pick if that's what you want. You may prefer the sound of a thinner pick, and some songs certainly suit that. So. Like I say, I don't normally, I'll use jazz 3s normally, but let's give this next one a go. So this next one's going to be a down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, up. So we've got down, down, up, down, up, yeah? And then it repeats on a cycle, yeah? So 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 4, and 1, 2, and 4, and 1, 2, and 4, and yeah, you might find it easy to say the downs and ups for this one. Let's give this a go with the metronome again. 3, 4. Down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, up. 1, 2, and 4, and 1, 2, and 4, and. Yeah, okay. So that's the basics of playing a strumming pattern. Again, you don't need to have any chords with that. Once you get comfortable with your right hand, start adding some chords. Just some basic G, D, E minor, and C. 1, 5, 6, 4. You're going to play that a million times anyway. So good chords to try out, and just try a bar change, but keeping that right hand never stopping. Another kind of tip when we're playing these chords, and if you're just reading chord sheets with some lyrics, and you never really see this, but occasionally if you are reading a tab book or something, or sheet music, which would be quite rare for this kind of playing, the open string chords between the chains. So I'll play this last down, down, up, down, up, and you'll notice that if I'm playing from G to D, that the last up, I might play with open strings, which gives me time to get to the next chord, because it's really hard that you think you've got to play up, down really quickly, yeah? When you can be playing down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, and you hit that open string on that last up, on that last half a beat, yeah? So when it's a half beat at the end, so the last one, that up, is a half beat right at the end, and it's something you'll see very, very often. Yeah, I used to think I was cheating, and then I was watching a lot of guitar, and I sort of go to a lot of gigs, and I'd be watching the guitar player, and they'd be playing chords, and I'd be like, what's he doing? Yeah, and obviously he was playing some open strings in between those chord changes. So just a bit of a tip there, that you don't see it written down very often, you don't see it talked about very often, but it's there all the time. So right, hopefully that helps. Say, stick a metronome on, play it nice and slow, or stick the song on that you're trying to learn with the strumming pattern that you're trying to learn, whatever the strumming pattern may be. If you go on YouTube on a laptop or your computer, you can really slow those tracks down, and you can just speed them up a tiny bit at a time. And it sounds like a really long-winded way of practicing to slow something so far down and then just turn it up by 0.05% so you get it to full speed. But you'll find once you've kind of got it cracked, that just spending those couple of minutes playing it again slightly faster and slightly faster, and don't try and be overconfident with it and jump from 75% speed to 100% speed or something, because you'll find that you'll fail if you do that. But just playing it as slow and controlled as possible, so that you're in full control of every movement and there's no pressure or anxiety to hit the next chord or strum the next note. And if you can do that and get into the mindset of practicing that way, a lot of professionals will do practice that way when they're trying to get something up to speed, whether it be a strumming pattern, whether it be a solo to a song or whatever. They'll be playing it as slow as they need to play it perfectly, yeah? Again, the same principles apply when we're playing lead guitar, when we're playing... I've practiced them. Scales, whatever, yeah, any lead parts. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. It keeps us in time. If we can get that alternate picking, down, up, down, up, down, up the whole time, it should help our playing so much in the future, yeah? I will leave that at that today, so thanks for tuning in. Bye.